everybody, it's Derek with the Swarm here, bringing you a recap of the Week 10 action in the Champions War League. In this one, we continued our streak here with a victory over Reddit Omega, bringing us 10-0 on the season, our win. The big difference was the 10v10 count. I believe they finished with 2, and we had 6. My math right. That was just the star difference. Both sides had a failed dip. Yeah. We also did, we did really well. I had them across the board. High hit rates at 9, high hit rates at, really high hit rates at 10v11. And that's where we're going to start off. We have Scotty coming in, getting, saw that, the 69%. And because I am just a giant child, I laugh every time. So getting some a few free percentage around the outside with some archers, some minions, kind of getting everything. Just adds up a little bit as it continues on. So from there, sitting probably going to get around 10%. Everything said and done, 12%. Queen comes down. Now he's going to walk her into that kind of first long box there that exists. So his giant comes down, starts tanking for the wall breakers to get in, goes ahead, opens everything up, rages that queen because she does have 4-point defense on her, loses a healer. Not always good. Like I said, a lot of these were fresh of our 10v11s, and we went 5 for 7, so very, very impressive from that group. Just one of those why some of these things happen, like not knowing Sam. That's okay. So in comes the golem down at the bottom end, and you see this is where he's going to start setting up his town hall dive. In comes another giant to tank. Small bombs out there, takes out that test wall breaker. One of those things you actually really have to start doing now with wall breaker, small bomb levels. So out comes the CC. Gonna get that poison on the loon. The nice thing is it aggro to the queen, so the loon, even its drop, isn't gonna do anything to the kill squad. Rage spell down, and here's where the bowlers start doing a ton of work. You can see already 48%. As another leads them directly into another rage spell. A lot of the bowlers did lose a lot of health there, but they are able to just kind of keep gutting out this core with these bowler bounces. They just keep moving around. King's tanking for them. Queen does get that town hall. She finally goes on to try to take out the eagle, but gets locked into the queen. Just doesn't die. Barely by the skin of her teeth. Just is a little important because it does get just a little bit more. So in comes those couple loons taking out some stuff. And trying to get that one last percent with an archer. Unfortunately unable to. Queen does finish off, I believe it was a builder shot. Gets that 69 instead of 70. Because of that one being really far down, or really, really low. But nice job, Scotty. I think he had a 10v4, or a 10v11 4-pack. So that's always impressive. So here you'll see they had a kind of a base building blunder. You could bowler bounce this air defense on the town hall. So we exploited that because it really opened up the opportunity for this suicide hero, and you kind of get an AD on your suicide hero just because bowler got one for free. In comes the wall breakers, opening everything up for the queen. She goes right on in. A couple giants come down to kind of tank a little bit. He did a good adjustment there because the last time the giants were kind of going in that compartment where the queen is, and it would pull the CC. So this one allowed the queen to get killed, and everything to lock on, the IT to get killed, and then from this point, and it just has that hound. But killing the archer and the wizard, just kind of getting them taken care of with that poison spell, and then pre-hasting this base all over. I mean, when everything hits this haste, they're in the haste forever. One of the really nice things about those level 4 haste, they do last for a really long time, so you can go ahead. So as the hounds are coming across this base, moving all around, does go ahead and rage spell over the double expos. Just to get through that, has frozen the Inferno Tower, just kind of buying all the time he can until balloons can collapse upon it, haste them right into it. Coming up onto the last couple defenses, has that huge pack of loons, does have the hound that's almost popped, but the loons are kind of taken out. Bunch of defenses, best part there, they get a black bomb, pops that hound, and that just gives him all the cleanup he needs. Then from there, it is just kind of not really even a race against the clock. He had plenty of time, just needed to get this taken out. Pups do go ahead and pop that hound. A little unfortunate. So nice job to Brady there. Next up, we have Newcastle coming in on number 7. Another nice hit. This is one of our later triples. Might have even been our 6th. Not sure the exact timing. So there's this nice little walk that one's able to do here. It kind of takes out a bunch of the defenses, like 5 archer towers and a wizard tower. So that's always nice. Kind of getting a lot of value for the queen with the healer. So I mean, there is an investment in her. Goal was though that she wouldn't be having to use a rage spell, so he does go ahead and pop that ability, because past this couple archer towers, he's really just engaging point defense 1 or 2 at a time at most. Down comes the king. And then just kind of setting up his pre-haste to go and do the rest of this Lalo. Queen ended up not getting that wizard tower. Little unfortunate. Wanted her to take care of that. In comes balloons onto the first AD and Inferno Tower. They take that out. Go ahead and move on through. Rage spell comes down. The raged Skelly kill is happening on the queen. There's a mortar shot, unfortunately, that's like going in that same direction, as well as kind of stuff being around. So the queen's still doing her walk, getting some value, and the balloons are kind of, I mean, looking really iffy. There's 3 wizard towers at this point. It does come in with that baby dragon. Baby dragons go take out the Inferno Tower, but didn't end up needing that. Everything's kind of walking, but you still see the Inferno Tower being up. The queen doing her tanking is one of the biggest saving graces of this raid. She's able to go ahead and just take out a bunch. She finally steps into that Inferno Tower range. It's quite unfortunate. And then from here, just the healers and the queen tanking those pups is just absolutely, tanking for those pups is absolutely amazing. And they get it done. Just by the skin, his teeth, gets it. But hey, a 3 is a 3. Next up we have Fahim. Fahim got nice triple. Kind of, I think, got robbed out of another one this war. Had a wonderful opener on a raid. Didn't quite go. Just didn't quite get it done. So down comes the king with some wizards, like a wizard behind him and a wizard setting up the funnel. Queen comes down behind her or him. Yeah. Then with the king tanking, we'll be able to go ahead. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure. It seemed kind of weird, like, not to have wall breakers or anything, but king does go ahead and beat through that wall, so the queen has access to the Inferno Tower for sure. She would have had it anyways on the outside. We just wanted to get that Inferno Tower down, and then would kind of the other Hitting the sweeper is obviously a nice little boost. Anytime you can take care of one of those, it just helps. So 4 ADs up, 4 hounds, has double skelly kill. So this is something new. Like you see when the archer dies, they'll come to it. I found that out this war. I didn't realize that it changed. Like one of the tips for you. So as the loons kind of collapse around the Inferno Tower, a couple of them do get over there to try and take that out. The bomb tower goes down, and fortunately the Rage Skellies have just enough to get it done. Down came the heal spell, just kind of get everything back up. It was really just that one portion of the base that had a lot of threats. As soon as that kind of came down, they were able to kind of move through. And then it's really just up to this area that has some more, but yeah, not that big of a deal. Just finally collapsing on the last couple point defense. There's plenty of loons, and then a bunch of cleanup going on. Finishing off this raid, obviously a nice job to defeat. Certainly one of the better 10s. Just had some poor luck lately, so now hopefully that'll be settled and be taken care of awesomely playoffs. So awesome job there. Next we just moved down. This was a nice war, like a bunch of people got 10v10 triples. But obviously GCH will always get featured because it's going to be pretty rare he doesn't get a 10v10. And this was probably the coolest raid, the coolest 10v10. So he is cleaning up himself, had a 99% time fail. So it was pretty just kind of heartbreaking on that one. Obviously, on that one he had like a wall breaker issue that we won't see on this one, which ends up making, just kind of saves the time. So the queen's going to keep walking down, eventually wall break her into the 6 o'clock compartment, take out the 2 ADs, take out the queen, take out the CC, and then wall break her into the next compartment to go up and get like the sweeper in the Inferno Tower and have a way back to the outside. You didn't see that the king does come down. He kind of does a weird thing here, and jukes his way in, but is fortunate enough that as soon as this bomb tower does go, he just gets the hell out of there, so that's really nice. Gets that rage spell down early. The rage spell also helped that loon, so it took 2 SAMs, which just saved one of the healers. Obviously, that's really nice. Gets that poison spell down, making sure to get that wizard in it. Wizard kind of going up to the healers on other attempts was shoot. From there, a minion does come in, helping clear that pups. Once again, just has popped 2 rages. At this point, his wall broken in. And now started this Lalo. The queen still has her ability. Loons are coming in at all these outside defenses. Haste spells getting down in good time. Getting onto that first Inferno Tower very quickly. Queen does go ahead. She's kind of tanking that sweeper, just making it not a factor for the Lalo. Rage spells down to get through the first portion of these defenses. Second rage spell comes down. Take out the last section of the defenses. Queen is just wrecking, tanking, and now she's going to be able to get back outside and take out more stuff. Minion's already down, cleaning up the trash. Pops that queen ability finally, and goes ahead and finishes this off with the triple. Probably the coolest raid we did. This awesome little walk charge that happened. Great job, GCH, as always. Next up, we have Evan. Evan did a Bowie hit. Kind of just had the ability to get 3 of the Wizard Towers kind of on this path going across the Inferno Towers. And really just kind of explore. And we knew there'd be some giant bombs, like likely by the Inferno Towers. Because I think on the scout there wasn't any kind of hanging out on the outside. But that, so he has some Valks to go in there. He also knew there was these outsized Teslas on bottom side, so he wanted to be able to get some giants to tank there. So there's a couple extra, any of the two to come up and just set the side of the funnel. For the bowlers and the witches up top, loses some bowlers to spring traps. So it's kind of just like this really stuff early in this raid. Definitely looks like, oh man, not going to go so well. Down come the bowlers. Luckily, they're lagging behind, just perfectly behind the kill squad. So like all the giant bombs are getting taken out, and they are at like full strength, heading right into the second Inferno Tower. Take out the giant bomb on the bounce. Fortunately, from there, a bunch of them get into a giant bomb range with the Inferno Tower. So that giant's down, finally tanking a wizard, a Tesla. So the witch is able to kind of take care of that. Then she pops, spawns more witches, which is awesome. And the top witches are really like, it's really just what can tank this mortar. If the mortar can be tanked by not skeletons, it looks pretty well. The mortar switches over as that witch died onto the giant, and that's really just kind of the end of this one. Just letting the queen beat through the wall, come around outside, take out that mortar, and that pops that queen ability. Had it, so it was never really questionable by that point. So Evan did a wonderful job getting that triple. That was the second triple for us. Kind of tied up the score at that point. They were up 2-1, and I think this was the first. Yeah, this one should have been the first. So GCH does an awesome job luring the Tesla out and then getting the bowler bounce to go ahead and take it out. Wonderful trade there. And then going to go ahead and suicide his queen for a few defenses, getting the funnel set up for a kill squad to come in. Bowlers in the CC going to go ahead and try and get these 2 ADs, as well as kind of go in and go get the queen and everything else. Finally goes ahead and pops that queen ability. She's going to keep walking on down, taking out trash, unfortunately. Jump spell comes down. Baby drag comes out to help set the funnel on the bottom side. Rage spell comes down. Nice, and he waited. Was really patient with that. Got it really deep into the base, so he's getting a whole lot of value to like kind of gut this core. You can see, I mean, just got so much from those bowler bounces. Just being very patient with that rage. Pasting these loons into the outside couple defenses. There's not a whole lot that target air, and they're kind of spread out, so the hound's not under a whole lot of pressure. Goes ahead and freezes, heals, and hastes through the double wizard tower, Inferno Tower, so like kind of the last super threat of this base. Has 2 loons, goes ahead and can target the Inferno Tower with a baby drag, and the baby drag also is going to tank the wizard tower, so it's like so much value just in the tanking alone to keep off the loons. And the fact that it gets the Inferno Tower is some of the best. And the Wizard Tower, like, just so much value that Baby Drag ends up getting. Way more than probably any other 10 camp space that he brought to this raid. A great job. Good job, GCH. Next, just take a look at a couple. These are kind of some attack styles I like, so... First up, we have Filthy Unit. I just like this one because obviously, as you'll see, it's just a really well set up funnel. I'm always a fan of that because it just boggles my mind when it's not. If you kind of funnel your bowlers into the core, like probably 60 to 80% of your raids are done. You're gonna win. You're gonna succeed. So in come the test wall breaker. I love that. Like, everything was very technical about this raid, which is obviously a thing I like a lot. So down comes that poison. I love how, like, the poison isn't waiting. He got it leading everything in. Rage and heal spell are down. Nothing is, like, dealt damage to. And even the golem now is able to get a bunch up. The only really bad thing is that wall break happened just like a little bit over. And his test wall breaker went to the right spot. But it just kind of opened up that side. But either way, in comes the Lalo here. Has done just a wonderful job getting the space. Haste spell into that first little bit. From there, just taking out the last little air defense. Golem's still up tanking a bunch of point defense. Expo's working around. The pups go ahead and take out the air defense wonderfully, and then just hasted the loods all around. Queen's still up. Did a wonderful job. Let's have another troll Tesla that's dead. I think we 9v9 hit like 70%, so very good. Nothing, can't complain about hit rates like that by any means. And then last up, just because, yeah, I had a really technical raid, and then just a raid that I like with 2 healers being here, and yeah, just being able to kind of like suicide for the CC, the Queen, King, and then like a mass hog raid, which is always awesome. So in comes the wall breakers to just kind of get into the space, open things up so the King Queen can take out things that somewhat matter. Baby Drag's still up, getting work on some trash. And then the Queen, of course, goes walking away. Doesn't go anywhere near that bomb tower that he wanted to get. But still, I love it. Just very, very little investment on the Queen and CC kill. Just what you want to do in like a suicide hero capacity fashion town hall. But either way, here comes all the hogs. Another troll Tesla up top. I think these guys had a lot of them. In come the healers with those hogs, losing tons of hogs to spring traps early, which is obviously going like just usually pretty rough. But has so many hogs and 4 heal spells and the healers, it's just he's able to just get so much value. What he does have, I mean, I think he hit probably like 4 or 5 spring traps on the opener. So it's not even like losing them in little bits. It is like losing everything right at the start. But the healers do a great job keeping everything alive until the final couple of defenses here, where they start getting into that air defense range. But as they take down the air defenses, there's still that 1 healer up. So a third, I guess it was 4. All 4 Teslas are hanging around on the outside on this guy, so kind of a pain in the deal with here. But goes ahead, gets the triple anyways, because awesome. Great job there, man. Obviously, great job to everybody at the Swarm and you guys over at Reddit Omega. Not sure where this puts you in your division, but I'm sure you'll be in the playoffs. We have for sure clinched our division. I think they're a win next week. We will clinch the #1 seed in the conference. We can go ahead and face War and Glory. So we'll be ready to go for that one. So until then, guys, see ya. Yeah.